And we are live. Is that Dasani bottle in the way? I can't either. So I guess it's not in the way. Anyway, we're glad you're here. I'm Andy Andrews. Welcome to the Blue Plate Special. This is a time of fun, learning, and laughter. And we're going to have a lot of that today. Those of you who are on Facebook, thank you for being here. And click that notification button so that you can be notified every time we go live. And also, if you don't mind sharing to your homepage, that would be great. I'd appreciate it. And if you're on YouTube, click that subscription button. Hi to the Instagrammers and the Twitter people, led, of course, by your captain, Brian Backen. And there's Dave Larder from Phoenix. Hi, buddy. How are you? Yvonne Palmer. Hey, Orange Beach people. Yeah, and Patricia Clapp. You shared. Thank you. Thank you. Bonnie Nix. Well, I'm glad you're here. Judson Perkins. Yellow. And let's see. Betty Ayers. Searcy, Arkansas, there where Harding University is, where they had their mascot. I'm just seeing tons of names. Lacey Turns from Northern Idaho. Susie Tickner, what is up with your finger? You haven't heard about my finger? Yeah, heard about my finger? Yeah, we talked about this the other day. I had, it was like a couple of weeks ago. I was just sitting with a friend having coffee. And I went, wah! And he said, what? And I said, my finger just like hurt, like all of a sudden. And I wasn't doing anything or anything. And I thought, boy, that's weird. And I kind of did it like that, and it kind of crackled, but it was very weird. And so then it kind of got worse, you know? It kind of got worse. It was like locking up. And so I Googled it, and, you know, when your finger locks up, what do? You go right to the doc. No, you Google it. And so I said, my middle finger is hurting. And, you know, immediately I got that I have trichogniomycosis, and I don't know how to pronounce the word, but it was like right there, and they also call it trigger finger, and it's like a hardening of the sheath of the tendon or something like that, and so there's a surgery for it. I'm not having a surgery for it, but they said that it said that the first thing you do is that you rest it. And so I put a splint on it, and the splint lets me rest it. And I put it on like on New Year's Eve, because I thought it was the perfect time to rest it, as 2020 was leaving. So, but I'm resting it, and so much like the Lone Ranger who leaves a silver bullet. You know, if I flip a bird to people and leave, somebody can go, who was that big-nosed man? So, anyway. So, Lacey Turns, you like the color of my shirt? This is my beautiful shirt from Sand Dollar Lifestyles. They are here at the wharf, and they're the cornerstone of the wharf, really. I mean, they are the corner store, and that one, and that one, and that one, and that one. I mean, they're across the street from us, downstairs. We're upstairs, and they're downstairs across the street, and they're at the end, and they're huge. This is an awesome store. I mean, and they have, and so I really like this shirt. So as you can see, this is a Southern Marsh shirt. Matt, can we show them what's on the back?
We sure can.
All right. Am I not able to see it out there either?
Yeah, it's just going out to the stream.
Wow. Well, if you come here, you can't see what you can see at home. So isn't it great that you're at home? So anyway, I love the shirt. It's very, very comfortable. And got something for you today that's going to be kind of cool. If you have any questions, and the Marsh Across the Teller says that it's good to see me, that you could use a little humor today. I think we have a little humor for you. I think we do. I think we have it right here. I think we do. And there's my sister, Christy Andrews Woods, and Mandy Moats down at Burkhart. Brandon Triola. Hey, buddy. How are you doing? You're going to text me, but you thought this would be more fun. This is more fun. Brandon, you're so great. Brandon has been involved in my life for a long time. There's Jamie. Hey, buddy. Shauna, Connie from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Wow. Now, where is Bloomshine? Julie Dutton. Billy Smart. That's a good name. Gina Christmas. Thank you for your note, by the way. I really appreciate it. I hope you got my return. And just so many of you guys. Okay, I want to tell you what has been going on around here. Now, Nancy says, how long have you lived in the Orange Beach area? Since Godzilla was a lizard, I have been here. Actually, when my mom and dad died, we'd always come down here on vacation. Now, we didn't have enough money. Hey, Nadine, we didn't have enough money to vacation at the beach. So there's the Bon Secours River that is like 7 or 8 miles north. Okay. Well, we didn't have enough money to vacation on the river. But there was a place called Campbell's Bon Secours Resort, and they had dug a little canal off the river. And so we had enough money to vacation there. And it was great. So I grew up catching crack brim there, which I would do a hook on a line, and these little brim that were below the little bitty dock thing, I would lower the bait down, and if the brim were of the size to be able to get it through the crack in the dock, I call them crack brim. And there you go. Yvonne Palmer says she loves the photo of the other way. Let's go the other way. Roll that screen the other way. The other way. The other way. Of Polly and the boys. Aren't they beautiful? Yep. The boys have grown up and they've gotten ugly, but Polly still looks just like that. Beautiful as ever. Now, I don't have anything on the screen, but you know that. So Matt knows that. So anyway, I want to tell y'all, let's see. Oh, I was telling you how long I've been here. Yeah. When my parents died at 19, I came down here because I always said if I was ever able to live wherever I wanted to, it was going to be down here. And so it's the best beach in the world. I mean, seriously, I have now been all over the world and I've seen all the beaches, and this is the best. And so, but I came down here when my parents passed away, and I worked at a tackle store, worked at Frith Tackle, Gulf Bait and Tackle. Hey, old man, Kevin Perkins is here. Have you guys seen the podcast with Kevin and me? The professional noticer this week. Make sure you see, and make sure you're getting that. Emily Our little Gen Z girl is not over here. She's out there. She's out there with you. We're sad you're not here too. She's sick today. It's not COVID related, so we're glad of that, but just kind of regular sick. So anyway, but you'll be better soon. You'll be better soon. So I came down here, worked in a tackle store, got I had a trailer and a car. People ask about living under the pier, and it's a long story as to how it happened. Okay, but the short story, my parents, there's not much insurance, or it wasn't then, on a minister, and so I got like $2,500 when my parents died, and so being the financial genius that I was, I bought a trailer with it, with all of it. I mean, the entire $2,500. Never occurred to me that I'd have to pay somebody to put it somewhere, that I'd have to pay somebody to move it. Just, hey, I have $2,500. That's $2,500. Great, I got it. And of course, they wouldn't let me live there on the lot. But, and it was a trailer. This was not a mobile home. It was a trailer, but it was a good trailer. As you'll hear Kevin talk about the trailer on the podcast, it had a great hole in the kitchen floor, so I never had to open the door to sweep it out. Just sweep to the hole. And people ask about living on the beach, and it's a long story as to how that happened. But if you want to hear the short version, with like getting your electricity cut off, getting your gas cut off, getting it put back on, getting it cut off, getting out, all this kind of stuff. If you want to hear the short version of how I had a trailer and a car and I ended up living under a pier, here's the short version. I had a trailer and a car. Then I had a trailer and a motorcycle. Then I had a tent and a motorcycle. Then I had a tent. And then I lived under the pier. So, there you go. All right, so let me tell you what we're going to talk about a little bit today. And this is going to be, I think we're trying to turn this into a learning experience that will be very fun. We told you that we're going to be trading all year long, all right? And we're going to do this as a Blue Plate exclusive. And so we're going to trade something between every Blue Plate special. And we're doing the Blue Plate specials. They will always be on Tuesdays or Thursdays, or Tuesdays and Thursdays, but sometimes only one a week. Like next week, we will only be Thursday. Only Thursday next week. Is that right? Is that right? Yeah. And we might be doing a remote next Thursday. How about that? A remote Blue Plate. But, so in between every Blue Plate, we're going to be trading an item. And so we're going to trade it up. All right. So we're starting with a safety pin. That's what I started with. And I showed it to everybody on the very first Blue Plate special of the year, which was Tuesday. All right. Now, as I've wandered around the office, everybody's been yakking at me about, oh, you can't do this and you can't do that and you got to do this and you got to do that. So I called everybody into the studio for a meeting. I had a little come to Jesus with everybody about the rules. Really, they had kind of a come to Jesus with me. Because I just, it's like, all right, tell me give me the rules. And so we recorded that meeting for you. It's about 4 minutes long, just four, something like that. And so we'll play that for you. And then I'm going to show you what I have done for the first week. All right, Matt? Yes, we are gathered here for a family meeting, a business meeting. We have Matt, Roland, Austin, and SB. Little M, Emily, is
not here
not
today.
here. and Stephanie and Keith are in Fairhope. And so it's just going to be you guys, and let me, where we have this meeting, I want to make some rules. That's my coffee, nobody drink it. That's my cashews, nobody eat them. That's my popcorn, nobody eat them. That's my glasses, nobody wear them because of COVID. And that's my glass, and that's my book, and that's all my stuff. And so nobody touch it with your COVID hands, SP. And that's also the tape from my finger. So I don't want anybody to touch it, okay? Thank y'all. Now, we're here to talk about the trade, the year of trades. We're going to start with this safety pin, but I've been hearing you guys yak at me about what I can do and what I can't do and telling me and bossing me around. And so I need to get all this in one place, if you don't mind, so that y'all could all tell me and just tell me I have something, and then I'll get the camera on you. Don't just start talking, because I know y'all all just want to yell at me at one time. So who would like to go first? What are things that I can't do or can do as I trade? Because we're going to trade between Blue Plate Specials, so we'll end up with 80 or 90 trades this year. And so we're going to start with this, the safety pin, and trade up all year and let everybody follow it. All right, so what can I do? What can I do?
Well, I'll first say safety pin. You can't hurt anybody. Okay, don't hurt anybody.
Well, I'm not going to hurt anybody.
Well, you better not.
Can I hurt their feelings?
Maybe a little bit.
Yes, sometimes that's kind of funny, you know. But yeah. Well, you know, when I think about it, it kind of takes the fun out of it not to be able to hurt somebody.
Yeah.
Especially not to hurt their feelings. But I'd love to have somebody that's offended. Wouldn't that be funny?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right. You got something rolling?
Okay, I'll go. You can't multiply the item.
What does that mean?
So, for example, you can't take the safety pin and trade it for 5 individual items and then go trade those 5 items for 5 more items. It's 1 for 1, or a group, or a collective.
Like,
So,
yeah, but if I have 5 items or 10 items or whatever, that can be one item. I mean, because like my cashews, you're saying I can't take the safety pin, trade it for the cashews, and then trade 1,000 cashews each for individual things, right?
Correct.
But
You
I
can
can trade the
trade all of
cashews as one lot.
Correct. You can trade all of the cashews for one other item, or
Okay.
a group of items.
All right, I got that rule. You guys?
I have something.
Okay.
You can't Andy Andrews it. That
What
means,
does that mean?
well, you can't like autograph something and then make it more valuable to trade it,
Why not?
because you can't. That's part of the rules.
Okay. All right.
Sorry.
All right. Well, I wasn't thinking about autographing a safety pin, but I see your point. I see your point. As we get along and I get into Ferraris and stuff like that, you know, I'm sure I would add a lot of value by, you know, because if I autographed a Ferrari, they'd put it on eBay or something.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Right. Okay. And sell it for less. All right. So
I'll say nothing that makes mom mad.
nothing that makes mom mad. Why not?
The Adam and I, it'll come back.
Are they yakking at you yet? Yes. Roll. You guys?
I have something.
Okay.
You can't Andy Andrews it. That
What
means,
does that mean?
well, you can't like autograph something and then make it more valuable to trade it,
Why not?
because you can't. That's part of the rules.
Okay. All right.
Sorry.
All right. Well, I wasn't thinking about autographing a safety pin, but I see your point. I see your point. As we get along and I get into Ferraris and stuff like that. Well, we're sorry. Somehow the stream got interrupted. We were notified that the stream was interrupted. And so now we're just going to start it back in the middle. And so you can continue to see this little meeting. All right? Almost through. for individual things, right?
Correct.
But
You
I
can
can
trade
trade the
all of
cashews as one lot.
Correct. You can trade all of the cashews for one other item or
Okay.
a group of items.
All right, I got that rule. You guys?
I have something.
Okay.
You can't Andy Andrews it. That
What
means,
does that mean?
well, you can't like autograph something and then make it more valuable to trade it
Why not?
because you can't. That's part of the rules.
Okay. All right.
Sorry.
All right. Well, I wasn't thinking about autographing a safety pin, but I see your point. I see your point. As we get along and I get into Ferraris and stuff like that, I'm sure I would add a lot of value by, because if I autographed a Ferrari, they'd put it on eBay or something.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Right. Okay. And sell it for less. All right. So
I'll say nothing that makes mom mad.
nothing that makes mom mad. Why not?
The Adam and I, it'll come back on us somehow.
So it's like no slimy animals or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be yes, sir.
You, Mr. Shooting a dove in the house with a BB gun, and you're growing up. Okay, now let me ask you one thing though. I just want to make sure I can market these items, correct?
What do you mean?
Well, no, I'm not talking about like on social media. I'm not talking about doing that. I'm talking about, I've already gone out there and said, hey, what do you trade me for a safety pin? And people are like, a piece of lint out of my pocket, And so people tend not to think bigger, or they tend not to have ideas. And so what I'm talking about is I am free to have ideas for them and market this and as I go along. I mean, tell somebody what a great deal they're getting and tell them, and I'm basically saying,
Like this pen belonged to the Queen of England or
no,
something like that?
no lies. This pen did not belong to the Queen of England.
Sure, as long as you describe the item accurately, you can market it.
Okay.
Yes, I don't see
All right.
why
So all I'm talking about is imagination.
Imagination.
Because I want this whole exercise not only to be fun for everybody. I want it to be entertaining, but I also want people to learn something and understand that you can add value to something with your imagination. And so I want to, be able to say you can do this with this and this with this and this and this did come out of one of Prince Charles's suits, but I won't tell anybody. Okay. So am I good? Are we good?
Yep.
I think we're all set.
All right, thank you. Yes, we are gathered here for. We're on. Okay, so we're good. So that was my marching orders. So I took that little safety pin and I spent a little quiet time with it to try to imagine what that safety pin could become. And I imagined several things, but the first one that I imagined, I encountered a kid, and kind of a little kid, but I got his parents' permission for this trade, okay, because I wanted to make sure that nobody got mad at me about this. But Kevin Perkins is making some smart remark about that right now. Kevin's like, yeah, get somebody else in trouble. So I know this kid and I know this kid's parents, and this kid has this beautiful Red Ryder BB gun. Some smart remark about that. Why am I hearing myself again?
It was just coming through YouTube.
Thank you, YouTube. Okay, but we're on, right? Okay, so anyway, I looked at this thing, and so this kid has this beautiful Red Ryder BB gun. Now, I don't want him to put his eye out with it, but he's very safe with it. He only uses it right now. He only uses it when his dad is with him. And he's very safe with it, learning about safety, being checked on safety, and just very careful with it. And so I made my trade. Okay, I made my trade, but I want to show you what I imagined and kind of sold him on. I said, buddy, do you get tired of shooting like at a target thing? You know, just like do you have one of those like round targets with a bullseye? Do you get tired of that? Just kind of just like nothing to it. Yes, sir. And so I said, okay, all right, I got an idea for you. I said, now this is my safety pin. I own this one. But it can be converted into a BB gun target. Your dad could do this. All right, even your dad could do this. And so this little safety pin that's mine, can be converted into a spinning BB gun target. All right, so what your dad will need to do, if you, because it's mine, and I'm gonna see if you got something you want to trade with it, okay? But if your dad takes some glue, it's like epoxy glue, really good glue, and glues one part of that safety pin to like a quarter, all right? And then you take a piece of fishing line, string, something, tie it to one tree, and then tie it to the other tree, and then hang that on it. Okay, you hang that on it. And so when you hit the quarter, that's your target. When you hit that quarter, it won't bounce back on you because it's not, it's not held there. It won't bounce back and put your eye out like you saw in the movie. It'll spin. It'll just like that. And so he got real excited about it, which is what I was counting on because I wanted to make a really good trade. And I'll show you what this was the mock-up. Now, I didn't have it mocked up, but this was I did it afterwards just so I could show you. But this is what I imagined. I was taking that like that and having it glued on. You see that? Okay. And then you tie it to a tree, to either side of a tree, and it's hanging like that. Matt, could you please come act as the BB and give it a spin? There you go. Look at that BB. That's a big BB. So that's how it worked. And so I said, I could let you have it. It's my safety pin, and make a great target. I could let you have it, but you got to have something to trade. And he said, how about a penny? I said, trade. I didn't say you could buy it. I didn't say you could buy it. I said, this safety pin is priceless. It's not something that I would get rid of just for mere money. You can't just throw cash at me. And he was laughing. I said, I need like something real. And he said, how about acorns? He said, you wrote about acorns in that book. I said, I did. He said, I'll get you an acorn. I said, 1 acorn for a safety pin of this kind of value? I said, I would need at least 10 acorns to even think about it. He said, 3. I said, seriously, you know, You got them out there, and seriously, and you're going to hold me up. You could go out there, put both hands down, come back with 10 acres. Now you're going with me on 3. Okay, smart guy, 5. I want 5 acorns. He said, done. He stuck out his hand. I shook hands, and he brought me my 5 acorns. And so I've got 5 acorns. So now I've got to imagine something. I feel like Jack. I feel like Jack with the magic acorns. So, but I've got to imagine something for these acorns. And next week, when you and I get together, I will hopefully have traded this and marketed these well, or imagined these well, to put it in, put it in a good light in somebody's mind. So that's what we're doing. What do you think? Are you guys cool with this? So I think we're going to have a good time. Hey, before we go, I wanted to tell you about a contest that you may have already seen on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram, and this is a contest we're running for the Just Jones 2021 package. All right, so to enter the contest, just find that post on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter and tag 2 friends in the post. You will then be entered to win. So you can get up to 3 entries by tagging 2 friends on all 3 platforms. Right? The contest ends January 13, and it will be announced on the January 14th Blue Plate special who won. We'll tell you. And so this is the Big Babu Just Jones 2021 package, and so you can see all about it. And Lisa Molina says, wasn't 5 acorns against that rule 1? Now, you remember the clarification. I can't take these 5 acorns and trade them for 5 different things. I can take these 5 acorns and trade them as a group. Okay, so I say I have 5 acorns and I trade, Lou Ann Wright, trade as a baby oak tree. How would I get them to grow that fast? Yeah, did Polly find out that I cleaned the house and put up the Christmas tree? Yeah, after I told her, And she said, oh, thanks. So it was as I said. Also, I have new shoes coming. Just so you know, not that big a deal, but I have new groovy shoes. My Gen Z buddy, Little M, she was in here the other day and had on some pretty groovy shoes. I said, where did you get those groovy shoes? And she said, oh, these are, and they're like, what do you call those? They're kind of tennis shoes, but they're loafers.
Yeah, they're like just all white, like Van loafers.
Vans?
I don't know. I didn't look at them. She was telling me about.
You didn't look at them?
I didn't see them.
What? I saw them. I saw them right off the bat. I said, them's some groovy shoes. They're, and she laughed. I think she laughed because I was saying groovy. But yeah, she laughed at me. But I asked about those shoes, and she had white ones. And I think she was kind of embarrassed that they were so white. I mean, they were really clean. I remember when I got a new pair of shoes when I was a kid, when I would get, especially when I got those PF Flyers. When I got those PF Flyers, I could swear that I ran faster. I'd get outside and I'd run. I would swear that I could run faster with those new PF Flyers. But anyway, these shoes are. I went ahead and ordered a pair. I ordered a pair. So I didn't order the white ones, but I told her, I said, I don't know if these are going to work for me because I got kind of big feet, and so those kind of shoes look massive on me. Yeah, right. I was size 12s, and those look kind of big. And my mom, when I was like in the 8th grade, my mom said, well, you asked for feet, and God thought you said fleet and gave you 2 battleships. So, anyway, got my new shoes coming. Baby's getting a new pair of shoes. Well, I've enjoyed this with you guys today, and hope you've had a good time. Little break in your day with us. And I want you to keep in touch. Make sure you get in the big contest, so you can win a major award. All right. And looking forward to seeing you, Chris Comer. Looking forward to seeing you and everybody very, very soon. Bye-bye.